everybody. Welcome back to Comic Book Club. Another fabulous day. If you didn't notice right off the bat, we had some technical difficulties going into round two, but that's all right because we're going to get figured out. I hope everybody's having a glorious day today. Me, I'm having a great day. Oh, it's so nice to be today. You know what I'm saying? It's been one busy freaking first half of a week, if you know what I'm saying. Holy crap. I just did not know exactly what was going down. So, anywho, I hope you guys are all excited because we got a good one. We're going to be reading The Blue Beetle. And if I'm not mistaken, it's actually the very first Blue Beetle. Like, this is where the Blue Beetle came from. Like, so pretty exciting. Just give me 1 second. I've got to present my screen because I apologize. I wasn't ready. Like I said, technical difficulties going into the middle of the week. Couldn't believe that. I just couldn't believe that. Now, let me know if my audio is good. Let me know if my voice needs to be closer to the mic so that it can work my vocal cords, or if I need to actually like step back because it's just too much. You know what I'm saying? So let me know those things. Oh, dang. Presenting is so hard. Give me 1 second. I'm getting there, everybody. I apologize. I had everything ready to go, and then, bam, my camera wouldn't work. That's always scary. All right. Here we go, y'all. Here we go. So, just so everybody knows, this is a classic superhero from 1939. I didn't even know the Blue Beetle was that old, to be honest. Y'all are gonna. I'll tell you later, but it's not good what I thought about the Blue Beetle. This story is a little bit longer than normal. I apologize, especially if I get words wrong and sound terrible. But I got me an awesome probiotic soda. Keep those vocal cords nice and, vocaling. And always remember you can borrow your own copy in the marketplace if you want to read along. I always enjoy people reading along with me. So, without further ado, let me. Oh, I'm starting to glitch already, guys. Oh, I hope this makes it through. Everybody. Hello, nobodies. All right. So, without further ado, let's get a rolling right now. Okay. The Blue Beetle, 10 cents, 64-page in full color. Whoa, we're not going there. Exciting adventures of the Blue Beetle, foe of the underworld. Also, Yarko, the great master of magic. And remember, you can borrow this and read it for free in the marketplace or read it along with me. So, we got to check out the advertisements. This is crazy. Boys, for your birthday, the frontiersman, I'll help you get a daisy. Happy birthday to you. They're selling old carbines, lightning loader carbine. Look at that. $1. What is that? $1.78? $3.50? $1.25? $1 for a BB gun? Shoot the coupon and 3-cent stamps for free birthday reminder kit. Wow, they gave you a reminder kit. That's crazy. I wonder if you send in the kit and then you get like a reminder every month or something like that. That's crazy. The Blue Beetle #1, published quarterly by the Fox Publications Inc. Wow, send a coupon now. Free birthday reminder kit. All that wasted paper to remind you to get a BB gun for $1. That's crazy. That is crazy. Here's wonderful news. That's wild. Extra, the Blue Beetle swooping down upon the underworld to smash ganglands, denizens, comes this darling two-fisted character, the Blue Beetle, sought by the police and feared by all criminals. This hard-fighting crusader for law and justice is in reality Dan Garrett, a rookie policeman. In a squalid tenement near a rumbling elevated of a large eastern city lived the Garrett family. It is December 6th, 1916. Inside the house, Michael Garrett, patrolman, nervously paces the floor. Sit down, Michael. Everything will be all right. If they'd only be hurrying. Suddenly, a door opens, and a short, stocky doctor strides in. Here you are, Mike. As fine a lad as I ever saw. A boy? Sure, and he'll be the finest man you'll ever you'll ever be seeing. Whew, this is I'll try to do better. Quickly, the years fly by, and the baby named Dan grows into a sturdy boy. Then one day, flu epidemic spreads. Wow, back in 1939. Mommy, where's mommy? Daddy, why is everybody crying? Come here, son. The angels the angels grew lonely, Danny, and came for your mother to take her to heaven. Now be a brave little boy and don't cry. I won't cry, Daddy. The years roll by. The death of Dan's mother made Dan more self dependent and more self reliant than most boys of his age. Looks like he's just doing a bunch of activities. 1929, 1930. Devoted to his dad, the sturdy youth bucks the rough element of his neighborhood, championing the cause of the weaker children and working at odd jobs to help his father. Leave Billy alone. He's smaller than you. Oh, yeah? Who said so? Give it to him, Danny. I say so. Now beat it. The next time you want to bully someone, pick on your own size. Ah, Dot. Butch feller had it coming to him, Danny. It's closing time. You can go now. Can can I go home with you, Danny? Can I, huh? Gee, Danny, if not for you, all us little kids would get beat up. If Butch or the others pick on you, just tell me. Slong Billy. Hi, Dad. Have a hard day? Hello, Dan. Yep, that I did. Soup's on. You know, Dad, someday I'm going to be a policeman like you. It's a fine profession, Dan, but I was hoping you'd go to college first. I'd like to, but college is expensive, isn't it? Well, Danny, I've been saving a little, and soon I'll have enough to send you. Oh, that's right. This is back in the day when very few people could afford to go to college. With a goal to work for, Dan studied hard and saved the money he earned. Finally, graduation day arrived. As has been our yearly custom, we now offer a scholarship to State University to our most outstanding student, Daniel Garrett. And so, armed with the scholarship and an ardent desire to succeed, Dan Garrett goes to State University. Goodbye, Dad. I'll write soon. Frosh, let's see who he is. Maybe he'll be a good fraternity prospect. Hi, freshman. Welcome to State. Hello, my name is Dan Garrett. Not the banker's son. No, I'm afraid not. I'm here on a scholarship. Scholarship. Excuse me, but we have to see some fellows. Scholarship? Phooey. Bewildered but undaunted, Dan goes to a boarding house and gets a room. There he meets Nick Collins, who explains why the others acted so strangely. And as you're a scholarshipman, they don't think you'll be fraternity material. Oh, I see. The next few days are busy ones, and Dan soon forgets his hurt. Finally, one day comes that call to all aspiring athletes. First call for football players. When I played for Lincoln High, I was on the prep school varsity. Where'd you play, Garrett? I've never played organized football. Hear that? And he expects to make a college team. What a laugh. But when the season opens, the coach calls out the lineup, and at wingback is Dan Garrett. Don't lose your heads. They're tough, but you can lick them now. Go to it. Both teams fight desperately, and near the end of the fourth quarter, the score is State 0, Cordell Prep 0. It's State's ball on Prep's 30. On the next play, Dan receives the ball and scores on a beautiful reverse, winning the game. Garrett scores. Garrett scores. Garrett wins game. Yeah. And at the end of an undefeated season, this is the varsity coach, Dan. I like your playing, Garrett. Try the varsity next year. After a summer of hard work, Dan returns to school, a sophomore. Going out for boxing, Dan soon becomes champion. Jeez. As a hockey star, Dan achieves success and popularity, and soon his company is sought by all. Whoa, my goodness, that was fast. Whining and dining. Happy hours roll into days and weeks and years. One day in his senior year, there's a knock at his door. Come in. Telegram, Dan. Telegram for me? Good Lord. Dan, what is it? It's about my father. I must go to him at once. Your father is wounded in the line of duty. Stop, come immediately, Manigan. Manigan. A few hours later, Dan rushes to his father's bedside. Dad! Danny boy, thank heaven you've come in time. I'm going to join your mother. Promise? That's rough, man. That almost makes me want to cry. I'm going to join your mother. Promise you'll finish school. Goodbye, son. Dad! He was a brave man, Danny. I know, Mike. Those dirty rats. I'll get them if it takes all my life. That summer, after graduation, Dan joins the police force and with Mike Manigan is assigned to a patrol car. Your father and I were on the force together for 25 years, Danny. If only I can get my hands on the skunks that shot him in the back. Who were they, Mike? I don't know, Dan, but right after the murder, a girl reporter, Karen Dobbs, left a letter with the chief, only to be opened in case of her disappearance or death. So, I've a feeling the names of your father's killers are in it. I know she was near the scene of the shooting. Is there no way we can get the letter? Nix, even the mayor can't get to the vault where it is kept. Meanwhile, at the home of Chick Alonzo, a notorious gangster and gambler, dame's here like you ordered, boss. Well, Chick, our Karen Dobbs, the news ace reporter. I've had enough of this fooling around, Karen. Either you stop blackmailing me or else. Haha, you wouldn't dare. You kill me and the letter I left with the DA sends you and the boys to the chair for the murder of Mike Garrett. Not this time, Karen. By the time that letter is opened, I'll be over the border. It was just luck that you got pictures of the shooting now. You'll suffer for every cent you squeezed out of me. I've got a few sweet tortures in mind. Late Late that night, a dark figure in a strange costume picks the lock to a safety deposit box in police headquarters. That is a strange costume. Silently, he withdraws a letter and reads it. Chick Alonzo. He murdered my father? Replacing the letter, the figure wearing a Blue Beetle insignia dashes off to avenge his father's death. While the Blue Beetle rushes to Alonzo's house, the gangster prepares to torture the frightened girl, Karen Dobbs. You wouldn't dare. Oh no? Tie her up, boys. She won't be so beautiful when I get through carving her. And then you can see him and her and one of the gangsters, and then a blue figure up in the ceiling. Take your hands off that girl. Hey, what the? Ooh, action scenes, action scenes. Ooh, action scene on the dude. Oh, somebody gets him from behind. While he's mixing it up with the boys, I'll make my getaway. Oh, somebody goes flying. Quickly, untying the girl, the Blue Beetle snaps out a command. Hurry, phone the police. I'm going after Alonzo. Right. I've got photographs that will send them to the chair. Good. I'll bring Alonzo back in a jiffy. Meanwhile, in his powerful touring car, Alonzo speeds for the border. Bootlegging. That's where that comes from. He'll never get me. Suddenly, a small beetle alights on the windshield. The Blue Beetle? Action scene. Looks like he's got the gun and he's in the car somehow. What that has to do with the beetle? There's some swerving going on. Crash. Now get this mug to headquarters. Who the heck he's talking to? An hour later, at police headquarters. This is the Alonzo gang. Chief, the girl says she can prove they killed Mike Garrett. Chick got away. Suddenly, the light go out. Hey, what the? Put on them lights. I got the switch. As the lights go on, Sergeant, look, it's Chick Alonzo. There's a note attached. Listen to this. This is my first blow against crime. I shall not rest until gangdom is wiped out. Signed, the Blue Beetle. Several weeks later, girl indicted accomplice. Blue Beetle aids in capture of Alonzo gang. So headlines. Well, Dan, that clears up the mystery of your father's death. I'd like to catch this Blue Beetle and see what he's like. Maybe you will, Mike. I know I will. I'll get him if it's the last thing I do. Technically, he's a lawbreaker. No doubt. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah. Well, fantastic. I hope you all enjoyed the Blue Beetle, the classic Blue Beetle. So, I've got a little bit of background information on the Blue Beetle that I would like to share with y'all here, real quick, if you don't mind. So, DC now owns Blue Beetle, but the character was originally created by Fox Features Syndicate. That's interesting. By 1939, the success of Superman and Batman spawned many similar superheroes. The idea that heroes nobody had heard of a few months before could suddenly sell hundreds of thousands of comics was just too tempting to resist, and before long, publishers large and small were flooding the newsstands with a cascade of costume characters. Victor Fox, an accountant for DC, saw the sales figures and promptly opened his own office just a few floors away. He hired Will Eisner to write and draw a deliberate imitation of Superman called Wonder Man for Wonder Comics, May 1939. DC sued Fox, after which Fox canceled Wonder Man, but he didn't give up, and later in 1939, he had some success with the Blue Beetle. That's cool. The series featured Dan Garrett, the original Golden Age Blue Beetle, and lasted 59 issues. Wow, that's impressive. He first appeared as the Blue Beetle in Mystery Men Comics #1 in August 1939, which I believe is the copy we are looking at. The series featured, oh, I apologize. Dan Garrett, the original Blue Beetle, was a police officer who wore a bulletproof suit and took a strength-enhancing drug called Vitamin 2X to gain superpowers. Vitamin 2X is the secret power giver. I knew you got to take your vitamins. Man, every time I was told to take my vitamins, I should have been listening. Dang, y'all. I'm sorry. I got to take more vitamins. Then there was Ted Cord. In 1966, Charlton Comics created Ted Cord, Dan Garrett's student, who continued the Blue Beetle legacy without superpowers instead. He used his wits, humor, gadgets, and fists to fight crime. That's cool. So no superpowers, but he was smart, strong, intelligent human being. I like that. We are super powerful creatures. And then there's Jamie Reyes. Ironically, DC ended up owning the rights to Blue Beetle, and in 2006 introduced Jamie Reyes as the third Blue Beetle. Revealed to be alien in origin, the Scarab bonds with Reyes and provides him with a suit of extraterrestrial armor shortly after Cord's death. You know, it's sad, but I actually thought that was the original Blue Beetle. I didn't even know about this guy in freaking beetle tights, like the Scarab tights. I didn't even know about him. That's so cool. All right, so that's some information. I hope you guys enjoyed. And then I don't know if there's any chat that we want to cover before I get into the questions that have been prepared. I think I have the whole collection of Blue Beetle comics at home. That's awesome. That's fantastic. Wow, the Blue Beetle is that old, right? That's what I was saying, Rayla. I know. The Blue Beetle, 1939. That's incredible. That's incredible. Like, wow. Yeah, I agree. I love those old ads. Yeah. Right, M. Scott? Like, they're crazy that they were like selling guns to kids. Like right there, like even though they're a BB gun, like, woo, I don't know if you can even do that now. I think it's interesting that Dan started out as a rookie cop and eventually became an archaeologist and then a business owner. Oh, the changes. Do you think that the changes reflect the times or not? I was thinking about that kind of while I was reading through that story, and it seemed like things were advancing very quickly. Um, I'm, Let me think about this. Do you think that the changes reflect the times or not? A rookie cop to an archaeologist and then to a business owner. I think I think it could reflect the times. Archaeology in the 1940s, I don't know that it was that big. Definitely being a business owner if you weren't drafted was huge. I mean, that there was a lot of wartime then and stuff like that. There was a lot of it's like the flu pandemic or epidemic. I wonder what the difference is. Interesting. What do you guys think? I don't know. This is what I think. What do you guys think? Do you think that the changes reflect the times or not? Interesting question. I'd like to know what you guys think. 10 of 10 reads. So does that mean that I read well or that you think that the comic was a 10 of 10? That's what I'd like to know, Rayla. But thank you if you're saying I read 10 of 10. And I agree with you. It was a good read. It was a little fast at times, and I was kind of like, I thought things progressed a little fast. So I was kind of like, whoa, what led up to that? However, they were trying to cover, I think, a pretty fast timeline in a short amount of pages. So, and they had to get established. Originally, Dan Garrett was going to be a character in Alan Moore's Watchmen. Really? Oh, that's interesting. So, as the Blue Beetle in the scarab tights, the scarab shining armor. Interesting. Interesting. Anyone see the Blue Beetle movie? Yes, I did, and I really liked it. I, I honestly thought that was the blue, the original blue. I thought that's where it started. I thought the whole scarab alien technology thing was like legit origin story stuff. But I did love that movie. I liked the Blue Beetle. I thought but I like special effects CGI stuff like that. So I thought it was cool how it worked, how the suit worked, how it like responded, how it kind of like would go against him and be like, no, this is the smarter decision to make. And he was like, no, 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 I want to do it my way. I haven't even heard of the Blue Beetle movie until I saw this comic. Did you watch it, Rayla? Oh my goodness, you haven't seen the Blue Beetle? It's really good. I liked it. I mean, DC definitely. Ooh, I better watch it. I know there's some DC fans out there that are probably gonna excommunicate me right now, but when it comes to the movies, like DC does good but not great, and I really look forward to when they take that next step and really take it up a notch. It means a lot to all of us because such good characters, such good storylines, such good writers, such good artists, such good creators. We know you have it in you. Don't sell out to Hollywood. Just make us some killer movies, okay? Using all that tech stuff. The movie was actually really good. I loved all the references. Yes. Oh, what references are you talking about, M. Scott? Let us know. I'm curious to know of all the references. I don't know of many. When they switched Dan to be an archaeologist, he found the scarab, and that gave him. Oh, okay, okay. Ted Cord could never get it to work for him. Jamie bonded with. So my question is it the same? Are you saying that's the same scarab? Like, does it start from the beginning and actually go through? That's interesting. What do you all think? Is that is there a is there an actual like relic that goes through the whole timeline starting from 1939 to present? Is that the scarab? That's an interesting question. What do y'all think? I know what I think, and it don't amount to much, but what do you all think? You read 10 of 10 and the comic was a 10 of 10. Thank you. You are so sweet. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you, because honestly, I feel like I read like not very good. I mean, I would say swear words, but it's not very cool. Especially when we're trying to do a comic book club for all ages. So, yeah, thank you very much. That's very nice, because sometimes I wonder if 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 I sound very good reading, and it would suck if I didn't, because y'all have to listen to me, and that would just suck. So you don't have to listen to me. I appreciate you coming and listening to me, because you don't have to. But all right, let's get into some questions. Thanks for chatting with me. All right, here we go. Opinions of the story. Did you like it more or less compared to our other readings? Well, so far, I would say it's on par. I mean, honestly, from beginning till now, I think that the selection has been really great. And it also is been shockingly informative for me. Like, um, I wouldn't say I like it less or I like it more. I really find it interesting that it's from the 1930s. I like the idea that M. Scott brought forward, that the scarab kind of is a relic that goes through the backstory of all the different Blue Beetles. You know, I like that there's 3 different Blue Beetles. That's pretty awesome. I like that there's that relic that ties them all together. Like, all this information like makes the story even cooler. So I don't know how I would feel if I was just reading it back then, and it was just because, again, I think it skipped around real fast and kind of lost me for a second. But other than that, I think it's a really cool start. I need more backstory on the scarab, him finding it as an archaeologist, all that cool stuff M. Scott was bringing up. Why do you think superheroes become so popular in the 1940s? Hmm. Well, 1940s, we've got the Great Depression. We've got mobs, mobsters, actually, freaking bootlegging. I think that would have been around the time of the bootleggers. So, depression, mobsters, bootlegging, depressing. Sounds very depressing. So, I think that's why there was such a push for heroes. And it's funny too, because a lot of the heroes back then, took a patriotic, a pro law enforcement position, where it's this position of esteem and honor. And I think back then people were really looking for that, something to kind of tell them that the world wasn't so bad, and maybe to even break away from reality, just kind of check out for a second and say, give me some smiles. I need some laughs. I need some language of the soul. I need to turn up my vibration. So give me some great superheroes. I I don't know. That's what I think. What do you guys think? You know, I I think those are good reasons. I think it was really depressing back then, and I think that it would be a good reason why superheroes would come along, because then people would actually it kind of would drive hope. That's what I think. What do you guys think? I'm not sure. Dan Garrett as the Blue Beetle. How does his origin story compare to Batman and to Superman? You know what's weird is reading this story. So I didn't get prep time. I didn't have prep time. It's been a busy week, and so I was reading it for the first time. And when the dude said, "I get to go join your mother," like, oh my gosh, dude, I'm not even joking. It tugged at my heartstrings. Like, it was really it was I was surprised. I was surprised because that emotionally hit me. And when I think of Batman's story and Superman's story, they're both driven by just an intense, um, event that really shocks them. Like Batman's parents being murdered. It's so it's so aggro, and so his dad being murdered, his his mom, you know, those kinds of things triggering them to make those decisions where they push themselves to be better and better, and then they find that I'm gonna go after the criminal element, because they blame that for what happened to their family. I I think that's an interesting, crossover, and I'm pretty sure what's his name was going for that. When he saw what Batman and Superman was doing, he obviously was like, well, here's the recipe, here's the winning equation. I just need to duplicate it, right? I don't know. That's what I think. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? How does his origin story compare to Batman and Superman's? Do you find it similar? I think straight up, like, he had to use those things because that's that's where Superman and Batman came from, and that's how they got so big and awesome, and just total loyalty basis, just super awesome. Let's see. How has the character of the Blue Beetle evolved from Dan Garrett in the 1940s to Jamie Reyes in today's DC Comics? That's interesting. I mean, look at where he starts. He starts as a policeman, and then in the end, it's a teenager. And it kind of makes you wonder what these are funny papers, these are comics, but what was the target market? Were they going for a more mature audience back then in the 1940s, and then today they're going for that teen audience, and that's why he was an archaeologist, businessman, cop, and then Reyes is this teenager kid, which I like to relate to the teenager. One day I'll mature, I'm sure, but not today. So I relate to the teenager, which I think is an awesome story. Again, I thought that was the origin story. That's how lame I was. Did you guys think that DC did a good job of revitalizing um the Blue Beetle with the Reyes character? I'd like to know what you guys think. I feel like it was a good way to go. I feel like it revitalized the character. I feel like it gave it a good look, and it took on a much different image than, Scarab in tights. But what do you guys think? That's just what I think. What do you guys think? What is your opinion of the Blue Beetle? Do you think he deserves a fall into the category of timeless and enduring heroes like Superman and Batman? Absolutely. And actually, that goes a different way, if I could say what I wanted to. Absolutely, man. I mean, 1939. He stood the test of time. The movie comes out, kicks arse. I think it is a timeless and enduring heroes title. I think that knowing where the Blue Beetle comes from, I mean, that's freaking awesome. That's awesome. This was really cool. So thank you to my team. Thank you to everybody for joining me. Let us know what you guys think. Any badges? Great question, Rayla. Rayla's Illusions. Claim your badge code on Crypto Comics and then continue to conversate on the book itself. What? Yes, continue. And thank you, Rayla. Thank you. You inspired my team to create you a badge, which is awesome because you're awesome. And thank you for being here. You deserve it. I got to grab that badge. Where? Oh, dang. I got to go get that badge code. And for anybody who doesn't know, you can go into the marketplace. You can grab that badge. Nice. Right on in, Scott. You can grab your badge and you can borrow that book for free and catch up with us and read. And then pay attention because we'll be putting out notices of what the next read is going to be, which will be, if I'm not mistaken, let me see. It's going to be, it looks like it's the 3rd of July. Oh, right before the 4th. Woo! Freedom! That's awesome. Oh, we're going to have a good time, y'all. Hopefully, well, I already know my team's awesome. They're going to pick something awesome. I've gone over time. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you all. Have a great night. I hope you enjoyed the comic. I hope you read for free, just like me. Have a great day, y'all.